Truth is the ultimate power. If I make you my president for 4 years, you're not my chief for life. Why do you go to the palace of the chief or to the grounds where the chief is in his hometown and ask him to rise to salute you? No. Only arrogant people do that. When the chief comes to the state house, which is the seat of the presidency, you are seated, he will come and greet you. Why can we live in a country where if some young man who is doing a small hustle and doing his bet has the police find just 1 million Ghana cedis in his house, he may be arrested and questioned where he found it. But a public servant who claims they have desilted the Odo Lagoon has all this money in their home. Whether they killed people to get that money, whether they did blood rituals to get that money, whether they stole that money from government, whether they took that money as bribes, or whether they have a cloth manufacturing business that gives them that money, or whether they have a brother who was a shoemaker who made the greatest shoes in all of Africa, so he earned all that money and gave it to them. Nobody is able to question them about it or prosecute them about it. We are a nation of stupid.
Only an arrogant president would ask the chief to stand and greet him. We need to watch the presidency for 2 weeks before the next person takes over. Na why enekasa semi ken kwesti chei dakwa KKD. So nim KKD wo Ghana ha de obi enim KKD. Na KKD ekopie mu ewo 3FM. Ana omotwetwe ankomo. Wouldn't say recently there was a video circulating on social media. Omampani na nado dankwa kwa job obi ase. Na ohen etewo na odam. Say won sorry na onchiam. Tase we beto social media no. Eni enkrofo twene ha. Obi a kire na dwen wo mo atwabo omampani de omu twabo ne pa ma bi mpo kire se wo kura de nka wo ya kani nti. O sa kani ba de wote amamene ni amane ase. Na tase we ana ken kwasi cheida kwa KKD. Eso de na no atumu bi. Ana no wo kire se only an arrogant president omampani a oye dwe ahantan ahomaso ene betimi akọ ohin bi ekrom anana sase so anana dwabo ase no waka kire ohin ne se won sori nchiam nipa obetimi ayesa de ne yo omampani a woye arrogant na no omampani na nado dan kwakufu ado eda na die na de wa obetina akonya yisuo no wahye wagu akonya ne nimu ase ne ade no I was say ye cleanse presidency ho omampani atina ye on ye pepa ho ye pese ye cleanse ho for 2 weeks asa na de obe take you over no take you over ari yonkwe ni ntie ken kwesi chei dapa emra.
Truth is the ultimate power. If I make you my president for 4 years, you're not my chief for life. Why do you go to the palace of the chief or to the grounds where the chief is in his hometown and ask him to rise to salute you? No. Only arrogant people do that. When the chief comes to the state house, which is the seat of the presidency, you are seated, he will come and greet you. But if you have wisdom, you will rise to greet him.
So the president got it wrong.
Oh, very wrong.
But he's a royal. He's supposed to know this.
No. I don't know about
his
royalty, but my point is, if he is a royal, then he should have been called to order by maybe even the Chafuahine of his village, not the chief himself. There will be a sabita fracture. Why? Did you ever see Kufuor, President Kufuor? Who is the man who managed to bring the elements of the UP tradition into government in Ghana? Summon a chief to rise and greet him. Did you ever see President Atta Mills summon a chief to rise and greet him? Did you ever see President John Dramani Mahama summon a chief to rise and greet him? Did you ever see I.K. Achampong, even in his military rule, summon a chief to rise and greet him? Or F.W.K. Akufo, summon a chief to rise and greet him? Our presidency has fallen to its lowest level of dignity. People look at this presidency with total disregard. There is a serious lack of dignity around the office of the presidency. It should be washed with Izal and hang out to dry for 2 weeks before another person takes over. It is a shame, damn shame. And if you have a council of state that cannot speak on it, a council of state that is paid and given pay and perks, but whose advice the president is not obliged to take, and that is what is in the constitution.
That's correct.
Why do you set up a specific vehicle whose purpose is you may speak, but we won't take it, and pay them money? And we say we have elders. Many of our elders were not wise. The young are beginning to notice.
Honorable Cecilia Dapaah, komo eba dwumadie no so. Se na se beto odwa se ne sika bi ene da ne fie. Ne house help ne nkrofo bi kululu ewi aya ho nsem nam court ne ade be da bontinga na foka se sanitation minister mpo ana sika da no ho ne ene omo position so se ne de ene bebere asase wo yi ni sa akwakoda so kin kwasi che da kwase wo ma ne ndada wasan kwa ko ready that topic we have and what you say. We are a nation of fools. Cecilia Dapaah is not being prosecuted. But if police discovered 1 million Ghana cedis in the home of a young man, he would be questioned and prosecuted. Or see, Yamami Cecilia Dapaah. Sika ye ko hu say shene the 1 million Ghana cedis ye hu say e shene de amu yi. Besine yenchi no entwe na so. Nanso magana ni abrante a very young man. Ma police for ehu and I say discover say 1 million Ghana cedis e shesa abrante yi edem. Ye be to nsa frɛ ne ya question. Wentimi ankyere mu kura ye be twe na so ye be prosecute. Iti wo hwɛ sɛ asɛm a wakan any the way ye bi a we are a nation of fools.
Why can we live in a country where if some young man who is doing a small hustle and doing his bets has the police find just 1 million Ghana cedis in his house, he may be arrested and questioned where he found it. But a public servant who claims they have desilted the Odo Lagoon has all this money in their home. Whether they killed people to get that money, whether they did blood rituals to get that money, whether they stole that money from government, whether they took that money as bribes, or whether they have a cloth manufacturing business that gives them that money, or whether they have a brother who was a shoemaker who made the greatest shoes in all of Africa, so he earned all that money and gave it to them. Nobody is able to question them about it or prosecute them about it. We are a nation of stupid.
The president thinks that
we are a nation of stupid. No, like I said, when we elevate you into a position of authority, you do not have dominion over truth. Truth is the ultimate power. Are you truthful?
This concept of minister of state at the presidency, minister with that portfolio, ambassador,
it's nonsense. It's jobs for the boys, and that I stated this with clarity over 2 years ago, before I got my badge of honor when GBC said they had banned me from speaking. The company that we made into something that people listen to and watch says it bans me for speaking the truth about a thief in government. People who said but once they get into government, they decide, let's borrow and borrow and borrow. And then one day I decide, I'm busy doing my research for my PhD, but I'm just going to look at all these documents, this thick. And then I find, oh, it is because for every $100 million we borrow, the Minister of Finance makes $9.8 million. And Ghanaians are not outraged. Ghanaian boys and girls, young men and women are not outraged. And whenever you raise it, your friends in the MPP keep quiet. And I told them, if 100 policemen know full well that they are all very honest, but 4 of them are criminals, aiding people to kill people in the Kasua area every day, and they are silent about it, then all the 100 policemen are criminals. So, I have good friends in the MPP who I believe to be honest. Some of them rose up and said, Oforiatta must go.
That's right.
And immediately they were silenced. And some of them have had people campaign against them, so they have lost their seats. Because in Ghana, the campaign is about how much money you can spend. It is a fact.
That's right.
Professor Jampo has spoken about that too. We have monetized our elections because some people are so poor, they will sell their teeth if they have to and drink only cocoa. And those are the people who will take a t-shirt and a can of sardines or a chamber pot and vote for you. But my advice to you people is, if you are honest, don't take the money of the corrupt. But even if you would take the money of the corrupt, pray over it and still don't do the will of the corrupt.
Cecilia Dapaah, it's wakasa about a president who has the audacity and the authority to be commanding a chief or one assassin. The sorry, chairman, what kind of wants them? And my Baba say we are a nation of fools. Or a young guy being in Yesika, 1 million Ghana cedis, no, they are 2. They man can be very near question, near a member who cry a bit positive. So I buy more nipa, I was sick away and them to be seen there. A seminal, I be you. What in a yard drink? Waiting at the watching. I walk on my section. Polens, a multimedia company woman, a soya sin and a transfer. And a decking Cecilia Dapaah, Ninsam ever to ya. Or Wario to but the event to be live streaming, pre-production, post-production, production, professional drone service. At a production and multimedia, and as a media beyond. Pray na ye mecha emfa emma. Omana mesa was going so far now no editing. Pro Technologies is a multimedia company. Over the years, nyuma aye omuni nkrofo aye nyina no. Omu nyina di ho adanse se omunyuma hote. Both abroad and Ghana ha. Bebia wo Ghana bia Pro Technologies for na yembra meye security ho adwuma emfa ma. CCTV cameras, automated gate, electric fence, car tracker, video doorbell, property rental, IT, general construction. The mabubo swing na services in na they will hear be protect ni medi muduma enfamo. Then you make me in a bomb chidom na name it na see the pro trends but some more pro television so when you said news around the world the convey social media platform. Ni it's not see any the ababeso. Mr. Abraham Alote producer, Sansuye director, executive producer, Mr. M. Oakley. That's an ever since share on our next episode. Nemo, but as I say, and then you so tell us here, audio data, ever share, ever pro television. So, Nemo mobile and be share keke. Mr. Soba, me a subscriber to me, and me a notification bell. That day, it's not CB so. Who near person around. Need to follow you. Pro television on YouTube and on all social media platforms. Pro television. Macro.
Mpanimfoɔ se bibi owiase nti ne da ne atopnom na ne pabɔne fonti ɛwɔ sɛ wo ma bambɔ ho hia na ne papa mu de Pro Technologies ana meka mfa ma wo ane Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yeton, esa install CCTV cameras in the South Ghana and NASA brochure now fear Ghana. Now pursue CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and Ninsa also. We CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, and our intercom, and our satellite TV, home theater, so upebiato, and our wato, and our pesebe install them out. Pro Technologies, and our software. Na shene so. Say a video nyina from America buchime. In this side papam na opedia. Men nwene ho. Na ne bo anso da form. Ne ye general construction. So pese si ufie di ma wo. Say ya bansoro. Den tia se wa hyase na pese ewie di ba wo. Ana afa na pese si di ma wo no. Woni en eninsa wo so. Ne de wo mu ne se. Ye no nyina ne wa buchime mu ha. Ene ye branch ewa Ghana. Na ye nim obra wo bre. Enti so sika fa ye nsemu a. Suro bia nim. Oda da. E dan bi apese osi. Plan bia. And when she saw here solar power, and a bamba won sensem be idea, only Pro Technologies, and Ninsa so. Ye smart home, a bath from Fidia be a person show fee, and now intercom, ye dihujuma, near Sanso are there de Mahain. So for brochure abedu Ghana, now per baby a lodge for long and as a short term, so 1 month, 2 months, and as 6 months, no, Ibenya Biama. Ye were die kama, as security yet tight, was some bejo. And yes, Sanso interior decoration, yes, Sophie and a mouth, and now I was Sophie, now per se, sissy, hold the mawo, say office ye betwa ho neat ne wo car tracker ana GPS a obetimi dia track your car bibia car ne nam bia obetimi ahwe e wo phone so eno agi se woton fidie bi na wo ho kwan fa so install ana ne settings ye beye e dia ma ye Ghana office e wo ahye Adenta Dodoa Road ye ne CBG ene di anim hwe for information or WhatsApp 401-7570-300 ana 054-0173-121 and at 026-372-4472. Pro Technologies. We have the solutions for your security and home entertainment needs at affordable prices.